Now, a bill is being introduced at Westminster that will require public bodies and officials to tell the truth and cooperate with investigations into major disasters. It aims to prevent a repeat of the cover-up that followed the deaths of 97 people at Hillsborough in 1989. The UK Government's Justice Secretary, David Lammy, says the change is long overdue.
Never again can ordinary people be looking at an army of lawyers on behalf of a government department or an agency of the state, and they're scrabbling around, trying very hard to fund themselves in their quest for answers and for justice.
Well, I'm joined now by legal commentator Joshua Rosenberg. Afternoon to you, Joshua.
Good afternoon.
Outline, the underlying sort of principle of this bill.
The principle of the bill is to impose what's called a duty of candour on public servants. And what that means is that, according to the Ministry of Justice in a press release this morning, they must act with honesty and integrity at all times. And the Ministry of Justice in London said there would be criminal sanctions for egregious breaches, very serious breaches.
OK, and what sort of behaviour then does it seek to address?
At public inquiries and inquests, we have seen government departments behaving in a very defensive way. Indeed, the victims of tragedies and disasters would say that government departments have been behaving in an aggressive way. And as a result of that, it's been very difficult for these organisations, these inquiries and inquests, to get at the truth. And the idea here is that, first of all, if you are a family and you've been bereaved and you're represented into an inquest into one of these tragedies, then for the first time you will get legal aid, you'll get public funding to be paid for by the public body represented at the hearing. And we're told there's to be a new criminal offence of misleading the public in a way that's seriously improper.
Well, the Prime Minister sort of undertook to introduce a bill this year around the anniversary of the disaster of Hillsborough. Many people refer to this bill as the Hillsborough Bill. It was delayed. So why was there this delay to it?
Well, we don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure that there has been argument within government in Westminster and Whitehall as to how far this bill should go, what it should do, what criminal offences there should be, and so on. And so I think there has been concern that the original promises were watered down, and what MPs were asking the Justice Secretary a few minutes ago in Westminster is to promise that the bill will not be watered down as it passes through Westminster.
And
I've just got a copy of the bill at the moment, and I was looking up the extent of it. It was published about 5 minutes ago, and it says that Part 1 and some of Part 2 of the part do extend to England and Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland, but other parts extend to England and Wales only. OK.
And finally, Joshua, do you think that the sort of, the requirement of this bill to cooperate and to tell the truth in investigations, will it apply across the board? Because quite often, we hear the sort of national security argument and things put forward as to why information can't be disclosed.
That's a very fair point, and we will need to study the detail. As I say, the bill was published in the last 5 minutes, and I haven't had a chance to read it yet. But the detail is very important. There's also the question of whether it may even be counterproductive. There was concern by a parliamentary select committee at Westminster that a duty of candour on the National Health Service, backed by potential criminal sanctions, was not being met. Fear of sanctions could create a perverse incentive to cover things up, is what the committee observed.
Interesting. Joshua, thank you very much for that. That's the legal commentator, Joshua Rosenberg. Well, families who lost loved ones in the 1994 Chinook disaster are among those backing this bill. And I'm joined now by Patricia Conroy, who's daughter of Detective Chief Superintendent Desmond Conroy. He was one of the 29 people killed when the helicopter came down over the Mull of Kintyre. Patricia, afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Is this bill something that you welcome, and why?
Oh, it absolutely is. It's been an incredibly hard-fought achievement by the Hillsborough families. We stand firmly with them, and all victims of state cover-ups. So it means a huge amount to ourselves, who really have had doors closed in our face, refusals to meet us, to engage with us. And yes, it's hopefully going to change that for us,
And you and families in your campaign are still calling for a public inquiry into the Chinook disaster.
Yeah.
What do you think that this bill, or what do you hope that the detail might mean for that?
Yeah, well, our legal team have submitted a High Court judicial review application because the government refused to order a public inquiry. It also, and to overturn its decision to seal files relating to the crash for 100 years. So we need this legal duty of candour placed on all public bodies, including and especially the MOD, because no family should have to suffer and battle so hard to get truth, transparency and justice.
Yeah, and your argument is that, you've called it a cover-up, but I suppose really the issue is that a lot of information is under lock and key, and that's why it cannot be accessed.
Yeah, and they have come back and said, they're protecting certain people's identity, and that we know that information can be redacted. That information is pertaining to the circumstances of how my dad died and all those other individuals. We have evidence about unairworthiness of the aircraft, and it's just this refusal, to engage with us, to speak to us. That's in my human right to know exactly and have all the information, regarding how and why my dad died. We know how he died. We know the foggy conditions. We know the time. We know all those things. But there is information that has never been looked at.
OK, Patricia, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Patricia Conroy there, daughter of Detective Chief Superintendent Desmond Conroy, one of those killed in the Chinook disaster.